Hello and welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 7th April 2021. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, rehumanizing your marketing experience. My name is Sean. This week's news: Discord is also building a Clubhouse copycat feature. The famous gaming chat platform has announced plans to build a Clubhouse competitor. As a text and voice chat platform used by millions around the world for gaming communications, this is actually a sensible move into the media platform. As an evolution of this platform itself. With Clubhouse features, users on Discord will be able to host AMAs, Ask Me Anythings, interviews, book clubs, karaokes. They are able to bring the social media part of communicating with gamers, or maybe famous gamers hosting talk shows and everything into Discord itself. And it is a natural evolution to bring move Discord from a private chat platform into something like that. And by building this new feature on top of their already robust and private-centric channels, the difference between Clubhouse and Discord is that Discord was built based on channels. So you have a group of people in channel A which cannot access channel B if you don't invite them in. So there is a certain privacy there. So if you host a talk show, a kind of like an audio talk or something, or a talk show, an AMA or an interview in, and allow people from certain channels to access it, people who are not in those channels will not be able to access them. So, you know, it's already a very siloed kind of privacy setting right from the get-go. So we assume, I think, that Discord may not have the same issues Clubhouse is facing in terms of privacy and bullying and stuff like that. And on the flip side, I think Clubhouse could actually pick up some tips from Discord on how it manages its channels and how it handles privacy. So if you're a Clubhouse user, if you're a Discord user, get ready for some Clubhouse functionality. TikTok rolling out auto captions. A few months ago, I reported on TikTok's intention to bring auto captions to its platform and also its discontents. Now it's officially being rolled out in stages, beginning with American English and Japanese languages. TikTok said other languages will come in the following months. The main purpose is actually to let people with hearing impairment enjoy its content, but it actually lets people who do not have hearing impairment, but they like to consume content without audio, which a lot of people do, because if you're in a public setting and you don't have your headphones on, you just watch something without the audio on, and auto captioning helps kind of transcribe what's going on. The problem is, which I've stated last time, would be good captioning quality. Captioning has always been a problem. Transcribing audio into words has always been a big problem, and this is even more so with TikTok, because TikTok has layers of content like speech and audio built into it and music built into it. So it is quite difficult unless TikTok is able to caption the recorded layer instead of the audio layer that comes on top of it. So it really comes down to how TikTok plays this, right? And it comes down to slangs and accents and how words are said as well. So the biggest problem with auto captioning is that you cannot change the words. It is auto captioning. It's like YouTube. When you watch YouTube, you turn on the auto captioning. Whatever comes out, comes out. And if it's wrong, yeah, you just got to deal with it. And I guess it's better than nothing, but still it's quite far from ideal and perfect in my opinion. So if you are a content creator who has a lot of users who consume your content using caption, it is better to spend the time and effort to actually do the manual captioning instead of relying on auto captioning. WhatsApp Pay finally approved in Brazil. 9 months after it was initially blocked by the Brazilian government, WhatsApp Pay finally has the green light to operate in the country. The reason for it was that the Brazilian government's interest was in protecting local operators from giant multinational corporations like Facebook. So Brazil, like any other country, especially third world countries, are interested in protecting local what is this called? Local operators, local competitors, like they want to be able to build locally bred fintech companies, payment systems and everything, because if Facebook Pay or WhatsApp Pay comes in, they have the capacity, they have the money, they have a lot of resources, and local operators will not be able to compete. So there were no details on what changed the minds of Brazilian regulators, but it is safe to say that Facebook can now operate its payment system in one of the largest markets in the world with over 86% active user base. I'm suspecting that they're making concessions, like how international banks used to be able to come into third world countries with certain limitations. Like for example, in Malaysia, banks like HSBC and Citibank and all that will not able to open more than one outlet in one country. So it is still able to operate, but at a very, very throttled speed and capacity. There were a lot of leeways that were given to local banks that international banks were not given, which is good because it helped the local banks catch up with the international counterparts. Which, yeah, so when it does come down to money, it becomes a very economics thing, because countries need to protect the interests, the monetary interests of their own economy, because the ones that hold the most control over the currency gets to, you know, do a lot of damage to the economy if their interest is not for the people. There has been another data leak in Facebook. The phone numbers and personal data of some 533 million global Facebook users have been revealed in a low-level hacking forum start last Saturday for free, according to Business Insider. They included Facebook IDs, full names, locations, birth dates, bios, and in some cases also email addresses. Of course, the phone numbers as well. Business Insider verified the authenticity of email addresses by randomly running them through Facebook's password reset feature, which reveals part of the user's phone number. So the email address and the phone number, they tally. So it proves that it is an authentic data leak. Facebook said that it was a vulnerability that was patched in 2019, but somehow wasn't transparently reported by the company. Convenient, right? And even though this was an old breach, free data access could only mean that scammers will be coming for us. So be careful, everyone. Moving forward, we accept that it would be impossible to free ourselves from using Facebook and its apps, but there are ways, there are things that we can do to reduce the chances of falling prey to scammers and hackers that take advantage of these data breaches. So the first one would be to use a secondary email address for social media accounts. So this email address is not the email address you use for correspondence or to work with as the official email address for your work, for banks, for anything that is important. This is specifically used for non-important stuff, spammy stuff. It is the same email address you will use to access all apps, games, or free content on the web, because you need to accept the fact that they are stealing data from you, right? We do not use this as a recovery email for any services, because once it gets breached, if someone gets to hack in, if your two-factor authentication is not strong, someone gets to access it, they will be using that as a recovery email for everything. So very important. This is just like kind of like an email address where you hold all the trash. So even if the data get breached, right, they will all be diverted to that email address, which is not very important anyway. Do not give any social media app access to your phone book, because they would be able to scrape your entire list and match them against friends on your social platform, and then will be able to automatically update your friends' accounts with their phone numbers. You are essentially, by allowing them access to your phone book, by allowing social media platforms access to your phone book, you are essentially betraying your friends. If you can, use a secondary phone number for this purpose. There are certain markets who are able to buy digital phone numbers and maintain it at a very minimal cost. If this is something that you can afford to do and you don't mind doing, then you can hold an eSIM or a backup SIM just for these instances. And Most importantly, do not entertain callers using phone numbers who claim to be from a credit card company or any organization asking for personal details or money. Always do your due diligence by calling the center's official number and verifying the employee's existence before moving forward. Okay, this is what I always tell people to do, and I would do as well whenever I'm in that defensive mode. If someone calls me, number one, if they use they use a mobile number and claim to be someone asking for personal details, like from a bank or something, I will straight away chalk them off as scammers, because official banks and everything will not use mobile numbers. They will use landlines. Number two, if you're still skeptical, or you should be skeptical all the time. So what you should do is you take down their name, take down their direct extension, phone number with extension, and then what you do is you go on to Google and you check the official phone number of that office, let's say from Maybank or something, right? The official number, and you say, I would like to verify the existence of this employee. And then you give the employee or employee tag, employee name, or whatever it is. And once it is verified, then you call back to Maybank, to that phone number with extension, and then you continue on with whatever that person wants to sell you or get information from you or whatever it is. Never share your OTPs, never share your passwords. Those are the rules. American lawmakers want info on Instagram Kids. We have talked about Instagram Kids, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Facebook has confirmed plans to build an age-locked Instagram for kids, and American Democratic lawmakers want specifics on this. They expressed, quote, serious concerns about the company's ability to protect the privacy, well-being of young users. The lack of confidence is well placed because Facebook Messenger Kids failed to keep children from chatting with people beyond their privacy parameters. So they have tried this before, Messenger Kids, and they have failed. So they want to know what is Facebook doing for Instagram Kids that is different from Messenger Kids and will actually protect the kids from other outsiders who are outside of their privacy parameters. Facebook will be required to provide answers to a comprehensive and fully specific set of questions about a future kid-targeted product by April 26th. We will update on that, and we will see what Facebook has to say about this. Alright, that's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly podcast available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos available on YouTube, and we post recent clips on Instagram and Facebook. This is Social Media Weekly episode 7th April 2021. I'll see you next week. Stay safe. Au revoir.